Hey everyone, some of you might know me already. I'm Kai Down. I'm the customer service representative here at ML Sound Lab. Today I'm going to run through the top 5 most asked troubleshooting questions and hopefully provide some answers for you. Question 1. I just purchased a cab pack. How do I make it work? So you've just bought yourself a new cab pack. You've downloaded it, you've unzipped the folder, and there's just a big jumble of files and you don't know what to do with them. I'm going to offer you 3 different ways that you're able to use them in your own rig. If you're running a modern digital modeler, you should be able to use these IRs directly onto your device. For the fractal audio axe effects, there's a bit of a longer process using CabLab, which Miko's already done a demonstration of, and I'll link that one in the description box. For the Line 6 Helix, simply drag and drop the contents of the Helix folder into the Impulses tab in HX Edit. For the Kemper Profiler, you want to use the Kemper's Rig Manager, and that's pretty much the same deal as the Helix. Just drag and drop your impulses from the Kemper folder into the Kemper Rig Manager. Most other digital modelers will have some kind of desktop editor where you're able to drag and drop your impulse responses onto the unit. If you're curious about the sample rate and bit depth that you need to use, check the manual for your product and it should say in there. While we're here, I'll quickly touch on the MPT folder. MPT stands for Minimum Phase Transform. These IRs are designed to be used in parallel alongside other vendors' cabinets. For example, if you wanted to run dual cabs in your Mua GE300, you could run ML Sound Lab's MPT folder on one side and the Mua stock cabinets on the other side without any need for phase correction. The next method I'll go into is using an impulse response loader plugin in your DAW. For this, there's a few free ones around, but I'd recommend the Lancaster Pulse. If you're running an amp sim, be sure to run the Impulse Response Loader plugin after the amp and disable the cabinet section in the amp sim. If you're running a real amp into a load box, you can send the signal from your load box to your interface and then just add the Impulse Response Loader plugin in your DAW. Lastly, we've got the easiest method, loading the impulses straight into the cabinet section of an amp plugin. Most modern amp sim companies have this as an option. I'll quickly dive into how to use them on our amped plugins. For the older amp plugins with a simple cabinet on-off switch, just click the IR text and it will pull up a browser window. For the next series of amp sims with a cabinet button, click this button, then hit Load Custom IR. Then finally, for our more recent amp sims with the full dedicated cab page, head over to the cab page, hit the drop-down box under the cabinet choice, then hit Load Custom IR and it will pull up that same folder. With the newer amped plugins, you're also able to load one IR on either side and then blend between them using the mix knob in the center of the screen. Question 2. Why am I getting clicks and pops / how do I get lower latency? Both of these questions are tied to the same answer. They're both related to your buffer size. Buffer size is probably the most pivotal point of latency for both Mac and PC users, but it can be a bit of a balancing act at times. Set it too high and you'll experience latency and it doesn't really feel real when you play to it. Set it too low and you may experience crackles, pops and stutters. If you do experience these artifacts, it's best to set the buffer size just until it stops crackling and popping, and then move it one notch above that just for a bit of headroom. You might also find that on higher spec computers, you're able to run this buffer size at the absolute lowest with no degradation of sound. Your sample rate might also be affecting your latency. Higher sample rates require more processing power and a higher buffer size to compensate. If in doubt, set it to 48,000 Hz. Now one for the Windows users only, ASIO drivers. ASIO drivers are your key to low latency performances. If you use Windows Core Audio, you can find that your latency increases to well over a second, which is far beyond playable. Question 3. I booted up my DAW and I don't see the plugin. What gives? The first thing you need to know is whether or not your DAW actually supports the formats that we offer. Currently, we offer VST3 and AU formats for both Mac and PC, and AAX formats for Mac only. Next, the important thing to know is where your plugins have been installed to. If you're curious, you can run the installer again, and it will show you which directory they've been installed to. On Windows, this will be under Program Files / Common Files, and on Mac this will be under Library / Audio / Plugins. After you've installed the plugin, you may need to locate this directory within your DAW. Most DAWs nowadays will have a plugin manager tab. From there, you should be able to add a custom directory and divert it to the folders mentioned previously. Question 4. How does the request key work? Our licensing system is based on request keys and license keys. Installing the trial version is a mandatory step in purchasing our plugins. This is by design, so that you're able to test that it works on your system before proceeding to purchase. Once you've got the trial version installed, open up the License Manager tab, hit Copy Request Key, and paste it onto the product page on our website. Check out as normal from there, and you'll be emailed a license code. Copy and paste this license code back into the plugin and you'll be good to go. If you didn't receive your request key within an hour or so, check your spam folder, and if it's not there, contact me through the ML Sound Lab email and I'll take care of it. Question 5. I reinstalled the plugin. What happened to my license? All of our plugin licenses are unique to each machine. This means that whenever you reinstall it or install it on a new computer, your request key will reset and you'll need a new license code. Thankfully, we're able to provide these free of charge, and turnaround time is usually a day. When the time comes, just let us know your original order number and the new request key from the trial version. Bonus question. Will you ever do X amp, cab, mic, pedal feature? A big question we hear is, will you do this product or that product? We're always listening to what you're asking for. We've done surveys, we've taken email feedback, and we've done polls on Facebook. We've got a great big list of everything you've been asking for. We're a small team, but we're doing everything we can to make sure that everyone is catered for. So with that said, let us know what you'd like to see from us in the comments section below. So there we go, there's the top 5 most asked troubleshooting questions here at ML Sound Lab. If there's anything I missed at all, let me know in the comments section and I'll do a part 2. Thank you, and I hope this helped you out.